My name is JP. I go to University of Chicago Law School. Richard brought me as a guest. I just wanted to ask you a question about Chicago because I currently live there. You know, you see states like Illinois and Chicago in specific, which is really fighting against the Trump administration. In fact, there's a lawsuit right now trying to fight against some of the ICE orders. And I was just wondering from the opposite perspective, instead of fighting the federal government, what can states do to help against a lot of this illegal immigration? Is there anything that you can do as governor to help accelerate some of these processes? Just like to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I've already done it. So so I've been doing stuff now on this for a long time. You know, I've had people at the border when Biden was president, all this other stuff. When Haiti was having all the turmoil a year ago, people said, oh, you're going to be 100,000 Haitians show up in Florida. And I'm like, no, it's not going to happen. I put boats out. We stopped. We have people that have been working with ICE on different things for a long time. But I just signed an agreement with Florida Highway Patrol and ICE under something called 287G. So basically it's a bunch of programs where you can be deputized and exercise power alongside or even in addition to ICE. And so the state of Florida is going to do all that. I mean, we'll be the anti-California, the anti-Illinois when it comes to interior enforcement. Now, I'm currently battling our legislature about, yes, I'm going to do it as governor with our agencies, but really every local law enforcement needs to participate. You cannot frustrate the interior enforcement. So we're looking to, I think we're going to generate something this week. I called them in, they didn't like that, so they passed a really stinker bill. It blew up in their face, and so now I think they're looking to do some good policy. But basically, if you say you have an obligation to help, we'll provide funding and grants so that you're not detracting from other things. But it can't just be that someone comes illegally and unless they commit an axe murder, you're not going to ever enforce the law against them. That doesn't work. So I think we hopefully will be able to get this in statute where the duty on both state and local are to participate. So I think you'll see a lot of these agreements that will be signed. It'll be a force multiplier. And the thing is yes, secure the border with a wall. Yes, go after the cartels. But ultimately, if people know as long as they get here, then there's never going to be enforcement. People are going to still be enticed to come. And so when they see that there's going to actually be interior enforcement, I think it's a huge deterrence for people to come illegally. I also think these sanctuary cities should be defunded. I think you probably need Congress to actually do that. I know they're trying to do a lot through executive action, and maybe some of it will stick. But if Congress appropriates money, it has the right to condition that money. I'm not sure the executive can just simply impose. You may be able to. I don't know. I think these are open questions. But clearly, Congress can just say, if you're not participating, you are ineligible for all these funds. And I think that they should do that. And it also brings up, just beyond immigration, you're watching with the DOGE, and they're going into some of these agencies and they're pulling this stuff out and highlighting this stuff. Why is it taking Elon Musk to do this? Okay, Republicans have had the House control the majority of the last 15 years. Why haven't they ferreted this out? And why do they continue to pass omnibus spending bills and continuing resolutions that basically give the bureaucrats free rein? Bureaucrats, if they know that behaving badly will lead to their programs being defunded, they have an incentive to behave better. If they think it doesn't matter and the government's on autopilot and Congress is just going to continue to do these massive spending bills that nobody reads, then they have every incentive to behave badly. And so I think that's why you've seen things like this USAID go off the rails. I think that's why you're going to see a lot of corruption in FEMA and some of these other agencies, because there's no accountability. Congress has ceded its most important power, the power of the purse. Why? Largely because Republicans fear a lapse in appropriations, a government shutdown, that's the worst thing ever. Well, okay, if you think avoiding that's the worst thing ever and you're just going to continue to write checks with no strings attached and let the bureaucrats continue what they're doing, then don't turn around and complain when the bureaucrats behave badly. You're funding them. You are providing this for them. And so I think it's been the great failure of Congress that they haven't exercised the power of the purse. You would not have a bloated administrative state like you do if Congress was serious about policing bad behavior within the bureaucracy. So if you want to bring the administrative state to heel, it's not going to be enough to just turn Elon Musk loose. You're going to need Congress to actually follow up and use the power of the purse.